morning children. In today's class, grade 5th science, second revision class. The same first lesson, reproduction in plants. Okay. In the first revision video, we see seed, about seed, how the plants reproduce. So the plants are reproduced through three methods. One from seed, and from spores, and from other plant parts, isn't it? So this seed we see in the first revision video class. In this class we going to see how plants reproduce through spores and how plants reproduce through other plant parts. These two things in today's video class we are going to see. Okay children, so plants reproduce through spores. So reproduction from spores. How the plants reproduce through spores. Have you seen during the rainy season and all, some plants, some on the trees or bark of the tree trunk, the bark is very moisture, very moisture in nature, marapatte. Have you seen some mushrooms are growing on the bark of the tree trunk? Have you noticed that? Those is called as mushroom. So these mushrooms, have you seen any flowers are growing over all the mushrooms? There is no flowers. So as I said previously, the flowers only grows into fruits. Inside the fruits only seed present. Then what about the plants? Doesn't have any flower. How the plants able to reproduce its own kind? So there is a question, no? So such kind of plants also there in this world. The plants, flowering plants also there, non-flowering plants also there. So these mushrooms are all comes under non-flowering plants. There is no flowers in the mushroom there. So those no flowers means no fruits, no seeds. So how those plants, these are all comes under plants groups. Okay, those plants how they reproduce. If there is no seeds means how they reproduce. Say they reproduce through the spores. What is meant by spores? See that mushrooms, we can see even molds, small molds also in our, if you grow bread. See, if you take a slice of bread, make it wet and keep it on some surface for 1 or 2 days means, on the bread, some molds will start growing. Black color molds will start growing. So if you notice, if you take a pinch of mold and if you keep it under the microscope, these are plants, very minute plants. Okay, they don't have root, stem and leaf-like structure. So lower plants like mushrooms, ferns and mosses and all grows through spores. So these plants, mushrooms are this much size, but whereas these mosses and molds are not very small in size. We can't view that through our naked eye. It can be viewed under the microscopes. Those non-flowering plants, okay, flowering plants produce seeds and it can reproduce easily, whereas the non-flowering plants, there is no flowers, so there is no seeds, so they reproduce through spores. Okay, so the non-flowering, these mushrooms, fungi, comes under fungi families, lower organisms. Those lower level plant organisms comes under fungi. They reproduce through spores. Okay, the spores. So for example, if we can see this, see, look at the picture drawn in the chart. See, the this is a mushroom. See, this mushroom is producing sporangiums. The sporangiums bulges. Inside that sporangium spores are there. See, these are all you will study in the higher classes. burst. How the fruits burst? Not like that. The sporangium spore. Inside that spores are there. So those spores comes out. Those spores comes out. So those spores have that germinating cells in it. So the seeds have that embryo, no? So from the primula radicates, no? Like that, these spores inside the sporangium, spore cells are present, no? Those spores will have that germ cells, the growth cells are there. So that from there, the new mushroom will grow. From that new mushroom will start grow. The new mushroom, new fern or new mosses start growing there. So this kind of plants we can see in moisture region, very humid climate, very cold climatic regions. Because so that's why during the rainy season we can see lots of mushrooms growing on the ground where the soil is rich in nutrients. Those low there we can see many mushrooms grow. So this mushrooms, non-flowering plants, reproduce through spores. Okay, so reproduction through spores. Okay. Then what about the reproduction from other parts of the plant species? No, other parts. What are the other plant parts? What are the other plant parts? So root and stem and leaf, isn't it? So flowers are there. So the root, stem. See, another name for stem is shoot. Okay. Then your root, and this is what? Leaf. Okay. So these parts we call as what? Other plant parts. These parts are called as vegetative parts. These parts are called as vegetative parts of the plants. So from these parts, the plant, the plant having the capacity to give rise to a new plant. Which part of the plant? Maybe root or maybe leaf or maybe stem. So that we are going to see in detail. Okay. So the root, stem and leaf are called vegetative part of the plant. Plants are called reproductive part of it. Okay. So this type of vegetative and the spores and through spores and vegetative parts of the plants are reproduced. Now this we called in higher classes we study. This will come under asexual reproduction. That and all we will see in higher classes. So through spores and through vegetative propagation comes under asexual reproduction in plants. Whereas through flowers, through seeds comes under sexual reproduction in plants. So that we will see in the higher classes. So now we will see how roots gives rise to a new plant. So far we see from the seeds only the new plants will come. Whereas in sweet potato, from the sweet potato, that sweet potato itself having the capacity to grow into a new plant. Because that itself is so that root tuber, we call that root tuber. That sweet potato we called as root tubers. That root tubers having the reserve food in it. So though that food helps that root buds will come. Root buds will come. So the root buds, through the root buds, okay, through the root buds, the plant grows. See, look at this picture. New shoot will come. Okay, shoot means what? Stem. The new stem will come from the root bud. The new shoot will come from this bud grows into a new stem. Okay, this through roots, sweet potato. And see this storage roots. So the storage roots are called tubers. Storage roots are called tubers. And through stem. part is there, no? That upper part of the carrot, you cut it and simply keep it in water in a bowl. See, you can see small greenish leaf emerges over there. Small green structures grows in that part. Normally you can see within 3 days, 4 days we can see that. Okay. So that carrot, beetroot, sweet potato all grows from its root. Okay. Carrot, sweet potato and the beetroot grows from its root. Okay. Then what are the stem? What are the plants grow from its stem? See, we are seeing onion and potato. Have you seen any seeds in the onion? Have you seen any seeds in potato? There is no seeds. Ginger? No seeds at all. So how that plants are growing into a new plants? So in this potato, if you notice the potato so closely, you can see small ridges like things. Okay, small ridges. So that points are called as eyes. These points are called as eyes of the potato. That means from that point only bud starts grows. From that point only buds. That buds mulate. The bud starts grows. So this is stem of the potato. The potato is the stem of the potato. Okay, the potato is not a fruit part. This is the stem part of that potato plant. So from that, the leaves start growing. Where the leaves start growing? From the stem or from the root? The leaf starts grows from the stem only, no? So the leaf, small leafages, foliages of leaves are coming out. So this potato is what then? This is stem. Are you clear? Potato is the stem. That's why the leaf starts grows over there. From the stem only leaves grows out. So potato is the stem. So this part we call many small black dot-like structures are there. No, those things are called as eyes of the potatoes. From the eyes, the stem, that small leaves, buds grows out. So that then if you sow that potato, if it is humid rainy season, you can see very naturally in our kitchen itself. So if you sow the potato in soil, okay, allow it for some good moisture, humid conditions, it will start growing into a new potato plant. Okay, many potato stem will grow. Then ginger, onion. So this we call onion and also potato, ginger and onions. See how that onions. Have you seen that onions? See, onions are like this. Have you noticed that from where the roots of onions will be there? No. See, if you leave that, you can see greenish sprout will come out. Have you noticed it? If you leave that onion, see, our mother used to spread out the onion often, because if you allow the onion in clumped in one area, that onion, because of the humid condition, it starts sprout. So to start that, our mothers does like that. So this onion is, so this is baby leaf. So from where the leaf comes out, from the stem only leaf comes out. So the onion is what? Stem of the onion plant. Onion is the stem of the onion plant. So this part is stem and this is what? Root. And this is what? Leaf. Okay. So this you can in worksheet also I given a small activity. See, if you keep the onion in a bowl of water, if you keep an onion, so it start grow. You can see the growth of the onion there. So the growth will be there. Okay, the water. So a few days if you kept means the growth smaller growth we can see. It won't grow fully. Small but still comes out. We can see it very clearly. So the root, stem and leaf. So this part of the onion is called as ginger and all grows from its stem. Okay, children. Then other part, one is root and another one is stem and leaves. So what are the plants grow from leaves? See, this kind of plants are very rare in botanical garden and all. If you have any tour trip, you must watch such kind of botanical gardens. They will if you ask, they will show you this kind of plants which grows from its leaf. So Bryophyllum. It won't see normally in this region, but in Ooty, Kodaikanal, such climatic conditions are suitable for this plant for its growth. So we can see there. So Bryophyllum and Begonia, some plants. So the leaf itself start growing into a new plant. How it is possible? See, if you take one leaf of the Bryophyllum plant, the leaf is having edges in it. The leaves have edges. So this we call as edges of the leaves. So the small ridges coming on edges of the leaf. In the edges, we can see small buds. In the edges, we can see the buds start growing. If you pluck the leaf from the mother plant, if you pluck the leaf from the mother plant, if you leave the leaf in the soil, the leaf itself, the bud itself start grows and it start growing into a new plant. So this we call leaf bud. This we call leaf bud. Bryophyllum plants produce leaf bud in the ridges of the. Okay. So the leaf bud start growing into a new plant, isn't it? It is very different. So root also grows into new plant. Stem also grows into new plant. Leaves also grows into. Not in all the plants. Some kind of plants. So for example, sweet potato, carrot, beetroot and all, the root itself gives rise to a new plant. Potato, ginger and onion, stem itself. The part is a potato is the stem of the plant. Okay, that stem itself gives rise to a new plant. No seeds in these plants. There is no seeds. Okay, so such kind of plants. See, for stem, if you take hibiscus, flowers are there. Rose, flowers are there. But those flowers doesn't turn into fruits. Have you seen any hibiscus flower turn into fruit? Rose flower is turned into fruit. No, fruits formation is not there. So such kind of plants, the stem of the plant can be cutted. Bigger stems, not the tender stem won't grow into a new plant. The bigger, the thick stems, you cut a part of a hibiscus plant, the stem of the plant, we call it a stem cutting. Okay, so that stem, if you keep it in good condition soil, if you provide nutrition to the soil, that stem itself start growing into a new rose plant or new hibiscus plant. Okay, that we call as stem cutting. Even though it is flowering plant, it doesn't produce any fruit, so there is no seed. Such kind of plants also reproduce through stem cutting. Okay, then leaves, Bryophyllum, Begonia. So this we'll see in second revision video class. The remaining part and all we'll see in third revision video class. So now I am going to write class work. Okay. For the first revision video class, I given 6 questions. Now you follow that continuously. Okay. Children, follow cursive handwriting, please. Okay, children. Look, children. So answer in detail. Explain the structure of a seed with a neat diagram. So this is the diagram. Structure of seed. See, dicotyledon seed, 2 cotyledons, and this outer is what? Seed core, and upper part plumule, and this lower growth is radical root. Okay, you can write stem also in the bracket, here root also in the bracket. Okay, so this Seed is the protective coat and scar is the at the beginning of the scar there is a hole, tiny hole through which seed absorbs water. Okay, this is basic structure of the seed. The seed have the following parts. Seed coat. First part alone explained here. It is the outer protective covering, protective governing பாதுகாப்பு which protects the seed. Okay, it has a scar which marks the point of attachment. It has a scar which marks the point of attachment of the seed to the fruit. Then on the top of the scar, a tiny hole, small hole, tiny small hole is present. Through this, through this hole, the seed absorbs, takes water and becomes soft. Okay, second point we'll see. Second point is cotyledons or seed leaves. This contains the reserve food, stored food for the growing baby plant. It is of two types. Okay, the cotyledons are of two types. One is monocot and another one is dicot. Monocot means it has one cotyledon, only single one cotyledon. Dicot seed mean has two cotyledons. Then next third one is plumule. Plumule, the growing embryo. Okay, that it has tiny shoot called plumule. The growing embryo has tiny shoot called plumule. The same radicle. The growing embryo has tiny root called radicle. The embryo that has grows into tiny shoot that is called as plumule. The embryo grows into tiny root that is called as radicle. And that's all this question structure of the seed. Then second question, if seeds are not dispersed properly, what would happen? It is not dispersed properly. Okay, what would happen? If seeds are not dispersed properly, overcrowding, clumsy, grouped, all the seeds get overcrowding of seeds occur. After they germinate, if that overcrowd, all the seeds get germinated, they will struggle, they will fight, they will struggle for air. For what are the things they will struggle? They will fight for air, water, sunlight, nutrients and space. So if all the seeds are not dispersed properly, they will struggle. They get overcrowded and they will get struggle for getting air, water, sunlight, nutrients and space for its proper growth, space to grow. As a result, at the end, many of them would die. The seeds which overcome all this will grow, but many seeds would die. Okay? Listen children, write all this. In first revision classes, short answers are given. In this revision classes, detailed answers are given. Copy all this in your classroom note. I have given the same format in PDF format in your worksheet slot. Please go through that and write in your classroom. Thank you children. Thank you for watching.